WNST about where we were when Adam Jones hit a opening day walk-off home run. I was up at Michael's Cafe in Timonium. I began my day at Camden Yards like everyone else, but I knew I had head coach Barry Trotz coming out for the Bone Marrow Registry, and for There Goes My Hero. I left the game in about the fifth inning, picked my wife up, drove out, listened to the game. We thought the game was going to have the door shut in the ninth inning, and it didn't work out that way. I think I said to my wife, what are they going to do to F this up now? And then Brad Brock came in, and lo and behold, but got out to Michael's Cafe, wound up catching up with Coach Trotz and watching the end of the baseball game. And Adam Jones launched one into left field for an opening day walk-off victory. And about 2 hours later, I'm leaving the Michael's Cafe after our long conversation with Barry Trotz. And my son texts me and said, you need to go to Danny Wiseman's Facebook page and check out his story. And I'm like, I hope it's a good story, not a bad story. My son would have never told me that if it wasn't a good story. Danny Wiseman has been my friend since 1979. Is that right, Danny? Am I getting that right?
That's a long time ago, bro. It's probably in middle school. So, I guess, ninth grade, eighth grade, something like that.
Berkshire Little League and collected baseball cards and all that good stuff. And lo and behold, a PBA Bowling Hall of Famer will pick up this story because you were where that ball landed, Danny Wiseman.
It was right at me, like a big fat bowling ball coming right at me, Nestor. I'm telling you what. We had got tickets from a friend of ours, a buddy of mine named Fritz Hoppert, and he got them from his work, and we were up in the upper deck. And I have never been to an opening day game.
I find that to be shocking, right? But I mean, this is a bowling time of year, right? You're on tour for 25 years.
So this time when I was on tour, we were always bowling, so I was never home, never around. And of course, the last few years, with my mom being, sick and just things in life going on, I just never wanted, never could actually. I mean, I always wanted to, obviously. I mean, hometown boy. But so we were in the upper deck, and when it all went down in the ninth inning, we moved down to our friends because we were going to go get something to eat after the game. And they were in Section 80, Row 9.
And you weren't squatting in the seats like Eddie Lauer was behind home plate when he shot the video of the Adam Jones home run. I had 3 or 4 friends. Our friends from Costas were behind home plate, Pete and the guys, and they saw Adam's home run from the 5th row behind him. But you weren't squatting in it. You were squatting in perfect Dundalk tradition, sitting in the bleachers, right?
Oh, it was right at me. I was like, I couldn't believe it. So, I mean, when he hit that thing, I'm going, holy mackerel, this thing's coming right at me. and I could just see it, the hand-eye coordination. I'm going, oh, my goodness.
When's the last time you caught a baseball in anger? Be honest with me. When's the last time you had a glove on playing some softball or something where you had to square one up,
I couldn't tell you the last time. That's why I was like, what do I do here? I'm like, I'm not going to move. I mean, if it's near me, I'm going to, stick my left hand up at least. But
it was coming at a good pace. It was a home run ball. Yeah.
I mean, it's my girlfriend jumps out of the way, and there was nobody in front of me. They had left, so it was a clear path, and I put my hands up, not way out in front of me, just kind of tucked in there, and made like a glove shape. It hit me right on the palm of my right thumb on my pad. Right, went right through, hit me right square in the right chest boob, which I have a welt today, and it's sore as heck. And I slowed it down pretty good because it just dropped off of me, went right in the chair in front of me that was folded up, and I scrambled around there and just grabbed it. There was like 3 other people that were coming, but it was right there. But so I didn't technically catch it, but I slowed it down enough to be able to get my thoughts together and get the ball.
Well, I saw you presenting the ball out on Facebook. My son saw your story, and I saw Viviano was talking about it. And I saw you were looking to get it signed by Adam Jones, so I've sent an email out, and I'm sure if the baseball gods all come together, and Adam Jones is a pretty good guy, I'm sure he'll figure out a way to get his John Hancock on that or his Adam Jones on that, and I'm sure it's a pretty meaningful thing for him. It was an exciting afternoon to pick your first opening day. Dude, all these years I've gone out there, dude, when it's rained, when it's snowed, when we've gotten our ass kicked, when it's been really cold out, which is a lot of the time. And I thought the opening day here on Thursday was as beautiful an opening day as you can possibly imagine. Well-pitched game, blown save, big home run at the end. In the record books, I'll take one like that every opening day.
Yeah, and there's also the other backstory too. Thursday was my mom's was the second anniversary of her passing, and my mom was my biggest fan. Went after my dad passed. Obviously, both of them were, and it was bittersweet. I was sad kind of all day. Just kind of moping around. I had a couple beers and just just wasn't there. I mean, it was tough. And when he hit that ball, and it's like I kind of thought, I played baseball as a kid, as you mentioned, and I'm like, there's reasons for everything. I mean, there's 45,000 people there. This thing's hit right at me. And Mom's probably up in heaven there looking down at me.
Don't drop it. She's yelling, don't drop it, Danny.
No, she's laughing at me because I did, I didn't technically catch it square, but it was enough that, hey, I could have picked up and threw him at it first or something, But, I mean, that thing was rocketed too, man. That thing was hissing when it came in. So I'm sure Mom was up there laughing a little bit and going, yeah, you should stick with bowling now.
Well, I mean, in the old bowling days, you wouldn't want a ball to hit you in the hand. That's how you make your living, my friend, right?
Correct. Yeah, exactly.
Does your hand hurt today? Because you go bowl today if you had to?
Yeah, I mean, it's. I feel it. I mean, it hit me, where at the base of your thumb, where the pad's at right there, and I got a little bit of muscle there from bowling. But
yeah, man, I talk for a living, man. Like when I bite my tongue or something, I mean, it's bad news.
Yeah.
Toothache's bad for a radio guy. Hurt hand is bad for a professional bowler. I think, right?
Yeah, but I'm not doing it like full time anymore. So I was okay with sticking my hands up there to try to grab that ball.
What are you doing, dude? I mean, other than trying to get together with me once in a while and going out to opening day. And by the way, going to opening day and not calling your pal Ness, right? I mean,
I'm sorry.
It all worked out okay for you. It all worked out. I had to go. I was out at Michael's Cafe.
I had a lot on my mind, man.
So.
It was a tough day.
But you got a hell of a souvenir out of this. I mean, you picked a great day to go to your first opening day, Danny.
Well, I'll trade off with him. I'll give him a signed bowling ball. His buddy Mookie Betts is a pretty hell of a good bowler there. He bowled the World Series out in Vegas a couple of years back. I think he bowled it last year too. And look him up on YouTube. That guy throws the ball phenomenal. I've never met him, but I know some of the players that do know him very well since I haven't been out there. But I know Adam's good friends with him. So I'm sure that the word will get around possibly. I don't know. But hey, I'll do a trade-off. I'm not into the autograph stuff and, kind of like athlete to athlete. I've met a lot of great people and, I've met Ray and Jerome Bettis and remember Tom Candiotti. He's a heck of a bowler.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, man, how many athletes, when you consider the great Jerome Bettis, is sort of legendarily loves to bowl, and Eric Rhett loved to bowl when he was here. He did like a bowling.
Chris Paul. There's a variety. I mean, there's race car drivers at bowl. I got a buddy of mine down in North Carolina, Stephen Light. He used to drive for the Nationwide team. He was 200 average bowler. There's multiple. I can't think off the top of my head, but I mean, just about every sport there's someone out there that bowls, and they're pretty good at it,
Remember that time we went bowling together, you and me?
You always got to bring it up, don't you? You always got to bring it up. You kicked my ass. One time.
Has anybody else ever gone out and beaten you like I did? Like, seriously,
Yeah, I mean, it happens. It's just the way it is, but you're not going to beat me over a period of a long longevity, like 10, 12, 15 games. One game, yeah, anybody can beat anybody in our sport. That's just the way it goes.
That's why I love bowling, man. It's the only time I've ever bowled 10 pins in my life. Did a lot of duck pin bowling, but then you've been to several of our duck pin bowling challenges. Danny Wiseman is our guest, PBA legend, Dundalk friend, Berkshire native, who caught the Adam Jones baseball outlet. Didn't catch it. Now, I don't. That's not official.
Half caught. How about that?
you walked away with it. How about that? And you got a bruise, and you left with the baseball. You got two bruises, right? You got like a side bruise, right?
Yeah, right on my chest, right on my right boob. Man, it is sore as hell today. I mean, it hit me right square through my hands. I mean, I got some marks there too, but it's a little bit off shaded and it's sore. I mean,
Danny, I don't know if you know, but I used to be in the media with the Orioles, and I used to sit in the press box there, and the press box there back in the 90s, and even today, you would get some real whistlers back there. I mean, and there were times where they had like framed items and framed box scores and pictures and stuff on the wall,
Right.
and those things would just shatter when the baseballs would come back. I saw Ken Rosenthal lost his computer there. Computer literally went into the back of, just destroyed his computer. And I remember a baseball going into a television, the plastic televisions, and it made a perfect circle into the back of the TV, and the ball went in there. I mean, I used to fetch some of those balls in there and give them to kids down below or whatever, but actually catching a ball in a stadium, I've only done that twice, and it happened in the same inning in Toronto, both off the bat of Brady Anderson, both of the same at bat. He had 2 foul balls come behind home plate and land at Sky Dome in my row, but I didn't field them, like catching it on the fly. Right. My wife and I, when we were in Tampa with our friend on the baseball tour back in 15, so 3 summers ago, it's Tampa, dude. Nobody's watching a game, right? So, we were right underneath the overhang, right off, third base, and we were literally not watching what was going on. And a foul ball came and hit the facade above and literally cracked our friend in the head. And it didn't but it was it was a little flare. It wasn't, like a line or a screecher. Right. And it also, much like your boob, it had hit off the top of the facade. So it was just sort of falling at that point. Still at a pretty good pace, but it hit her in the head and we never saw the ball. It was one of those heads up, boom. It was like one of those, oh, man, we got to watch the game, And you saw the netting that they've put up there now, right?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. It's good.
My buddy Maury Brown and I have talked about this for a long time, about kids getting hurt and stuff like that. And, I mean, when you're fielding a line drive home run going 380 feet, I would have gotten out of the way. You got more stones than me, dude. These hands do not need to field that. With a glove, I'm all in. I'll play anything with a glove.
Yeah, I mean, you can hear it when it pops in the glove from the outfield when they hit them line drives. And, you watch that. I watched the video of it, man, and he just got all over it. I mean, that thing was, I would like to know what the exit speed off that bat was.
It was gone right away. I mean, it was obvious walk-off. Boom.
That thing was, I mean, like I said, it was hissing. You could hear it hissing coming in. And, Dana jumped out of the way, and I was left there alone, nobody in front of me. And so, I mean, it was, I don't know. I mean, if it was up another 6 inches, it probably would have hit me in the face, I mean, it was that close. I mean, I think about it now. It's like, that
wasn't a very smart thing to do. Danny Wiseman is here. He's been my friend since 1979. He caught the Adam Jones home run ball. Hey, dude, I hope there's a second story to this. A couple days from now, I have a feeling you're going to be standing next to Adam Jones, handing in the baseball and whatever, because of your star power. And I've thrown a note out. I know Viviano threw a note. I know the Orioles are aware of all this and all that stuff. But what's going on with you, man? Are you still doing your charity stuff and Danny Wiseman bowling and all that? You hit me every year. You do your event over at Pulaski Highway, right by all my sponsors, including King Discount Liquors.
Yeah, well,
and Pizza John's, where I know you celebrated. You went to Pizza John's and celebrated, didn't you? Thursday night. Absolutely.
Yeah, so one of the deals right now, next month, before I get started on my Danny Wiseman Youth Scholarship Bowling Tournament at Country Club Lanes, I am getting inducted into my 6th Hall of Fame. I got a call from the USBC, United States Bowling Congress president, a month and a half ago. I've been on the ballot for about 4 or 5 years, and with all the great bowlers, and every year, just like the other sports, more people are added. And I'm like, I'm not ever going to get into this because, I mean, they count PBA titles now. I won the Masters, USBC Masters, what was ABC, American Bowling Congress back then before they merged, and in '04. And I was like totally surprised, because I never expected it. I didn't start this journey of bowling to be in any Hall of Fames. I just wanted to knock down pins. And there's, 2 things. I'm old, which I'm 50, or I was pretty good at what I did throwing a bowling ball. And I'm very humbled by it. And I respect the fact that, the United States Bowling Congress is the governing body of our sport. They govern all the leagues, all the league members, tournaments, youth stuff. It's it's really neat knowing that they've been in existence since 1892, and there's only 218 bowlers. Remember, this includes all those years with all those league bowlers, even at the prime back in the 60s, 50s, 60s, and 70s, when there was 9, 10, 11, 12, 14 million bowlers, sanctioned bowlers through the history. And there's only 218 in superior performance, and I'm going to be included into that. So it's very, all the greats. I mean, the Dick Webbers and Ray Blues, and the superstars in the eras bygone, and I'll be enshrined in that, and it's really, really humbling. I'm really honored.
Danny, I appreciate you calling in and always talking bowling. Over 27 years of doing this, you're my favorite bowler for sure, and I think everybody around here. I'm still pissed I've never gotten like one of the Flame shirts from you. I've never acquired a Flame shirt, but I know we've talked about that. Just to wear maybe one night, give it back to you or something. Like a Ric Flair get up.
Right. All right, I'll see what I got. Buddy.
All right, baby.
I thought you're getting older too. I thought I got you a T-shirt or a shirt or something.
I got T-shirt
10, 12, 15 years ago.
I got T-shirts, but I don't have like something authentic. DW gear is what I need. Danny, tell everybody how to get in touch with you and what you're doing and how they can support your endeavors and what you're doing with the charities you work with.
Well, I'm going to start when I get back. I get inducted April 25th in Reno. That's where the convention's at for the United States Bowling Congress. When I get back, I will start on my journey of gathering all my local sponsors and the bowling ball manufacturers to get going on my youth scholarship tournament. Last year the kids bowled for $30,000. And I am hoping to get close to that with the help and support of, local bowlers, local companies, and anyone who wants to get involved. It's not a whole lot. I chase the sponsors, and that's what it's about. Keeps me busy, and I do it all for the kids to get back to the community, get back to my sport that I love. And I bring in, people from, 8 surrounding states that come to this event. It's really, blossomed into a premier youth bowling tournament. And the kids, like I said, they can bowl for scholarship money, which helps the parents out through competing in bowling for college. And that's what it's about. I never went to college. I went right out on tour. And I wish I would have went to college. But in today's day, the kids have opportunities in our sport to gain or to earn scholarship money that goes into their own specific accounts. And then when they go to college, it can be used for books and whatnot to help them out. And that's what I do. For 4 or 5 months, I'll be working on this. I'm going to bowl some. There's a couple of senior events right after the Reno. I'm still deciding on that.
When do you get comfortable with being called a senior, Danny? I want to know because you're 50 and I'm 49. When you start bowling the senior events, when do you get comfortable with that?
I haven't yet, and I'm not comfortable with it because I can't believe that I'm 50. It's like, geez, and you're right behind me. So it's really weird because the guys that are bowling some of these events are the same guys that I competed against back in the 90s and 2000s. You got your Parker Bones, Norm Duke, Walter Ray Williams Jr. It's crazy to think that that would happen. But I'm not as sharp as I used to be. I don't practice as much as I used. So I may bowl in North Carolina, and there's one in Long Island that's for the veterans bowling veterans link, which Johnny Petraglia runs. It's a really good event, so it's got a good charity involved with it. And then there's just some local regionals. Actually, there's a regional at AMF Towson in 2 weeks, I believe, like the 12th and 13th at AMF Towson. So if any bowling fans are out there, there's going to be some good players coming into town for that event, run by Bowlers Discount Pro Shop, who's actually one of my sponsors for my kids' tournament also.
Plug away.
But, yeah, okay.
Plug away. They're helping your charity, man, for sure. Yeah, shine a light on them, Danny. Feel free.
Well, it's the scholarship tournament is basically, me going out and getting all these sponsors, local stuff, and getting the money generated to, for the kids to bowl. and that's just.
I've done that a few times.
Yeah, I know. You work at it. You know what it takes, and you know what it's about. And I reach out to a lot of my friends and a lot of people that bowl and whatnot. But it's a scholarship tournament. It's not really charity, so to speak, but it does help. Everything that comes into this thing goes right back out. I do this for nothing, and I do it because this is the future of our sport. And bowling in college, if you look up NCAA bowling with the women, it is huge. I mean, there are teams from all the major colleges.
Coppin State bowls. I had the Coppin State bowling coach on a couple of weeks ago. It was cool.
Yeah, yep. Well, I think that's MEAC. I think that's Mid-Atlantic.
Yep, that is.
And but the women are in NCAA. I mean, you got Vanderbilt and you name it. I mean, it's crazy how big it is in college, and the platform now. It's been lacking with with the PBA. But they just signed a deal, man. They just signed a deal with Fox Sports. They've been on ABC and ESPN forever, and they just inked a deal to go to Fox, and it's pretty interesting. And I'm hoping that this now it opens up the door for for the bowlers out there now, the younger generation that are on tour to bowl for the kind of money that I was able to bowl for. And it gives them, the college kids, a platform to keep interested and go farther, with the PBA tour. And of course the ladies tour, they have a tour. And that's really built up. So, I mean, it's coming around. It's hard just to compete anymore with all the avenues out there and the major sports. I mean, we're not making millions, but there's so many people that bowl and enjoy the sport.
Well, Danny, it's always a pleasure, and I guess it was meant to be that you were to catch Adam Jones's baseball, and we were to get together and talk about bowling and plug some bowling in your scholarship fund as well. I hope the ball gets signed. I hope I see pictures. I hope Adam Jones responds to that. I feel like he will, and you made yourself a nice little memory there to honor your mother as well. So it was a great story, great having you visit, man. Let me know if I can help you anytime as we get closer up on your scholarship.
I certainly will, Nestor, and I appreciate you having me on. As always, my friend, we go back a long way. And I always look forward to talking to you. Always get the newspaper in the morning, your little email blog, and it's just cool, man. It's great to have friends out there, and you're one of the good guys, and I appreciate it. And tell Jen hello, and me and Dana are thinking about you guys, and the little kitty too.
Oh, yeah, our new cat. I mean, I know what a softie you are for the animals, so you want to give away a free plug here for Be More Humane and SPCA and Barks and all that stuff. Our girl is waiting for me right now, so I have to go so I can go play with her because she's calling my name.
Well, I got 3 of them that are rescues, and the last one, I don't know if you saw that on there. He's coming up on about a year old, but last June he was, I have a house down in Middle River, and there's a little small garage next door to my house, and there was a little cry going on up in the top, and I crawl up in there, up top with a ladder, and there's this real little kitten up there, and he's just crying, and the lady across the street was giving him food, and I had some friends that do the trap and release on feral cats come by, and she went up there and just snatched him right up. We took him to the vets, and he was clean. He was about 7-8 weeks old. Now he's 13 pounds, and he's a good boy. He's Mr. Peabody Butterbean. He gets along with my other boys. My other 2 they're all buddies. They all sleep together, and they come crawling on me at night when I get back into the house, and they fight and play, and they're fighting right now. I'm watching
Cats
them.
Are cool, man. They really are.
Awesome. They're just so different. All their personalities are different, and but if you could save a cat, save an animal, it's the right thing to do.
Well, I'm looking at your picture of your old boy Mikey right up here on your old campaign you did. So I always wanted to do one of those with Kitty, and I've talked to the gal who does that, and when we lost
Sandy.
Kitty, Sandy,
yeah.
I don't want to mess up.
Risset.
Yeah, I didn't want to mess up the pronunciation. New beginning with an R. She does this great campaign with only a punk would hurt a cat or a dog. So and I know you did that, Johnny Rollo. All the guys I played Little League with did that, except me.
John Allen did it, and there was a few of us. I mean, I did mine back in I think it was like 2012. But I still have the posters, and actually, I got a buddy of mine up at Pet Value here that we go to. I'm going to. I got a couple more of those posters. I'm going to sign one to the store because I'm constantly in there every week buying cat food and litter.
Well, you know what? One night you're going to have to come down here and see the Stone Horses with me with Johnny Allen. He and I went together to see Judas Priest and Saxon down at the Anthem together 2 weeks ago. So we did a little Dundalk rolling together down to D.C., figuring it out. Hooligans getting together. Danny, always a pleasure, man. Ice up that sore palm thing you got going on there, and your any breastages that you got going on there too.
Yeah. I will.
The thing that happened there. Be good, man. We'll see you soon. Next picture I want to see of you is you and Adam Jones bowling together, all right?
Yeah, we'll see what we can do. We'll figure something out. I mean, like I said, it's athlete to athlete. I'm not, big on the autograph stuff and whatnot. And if I meet him, I feel it's just as the same him meeting me.
It was meant to be.
It's just one of those deals, So it was really cool. And
if you were a wrestler, he'd really want to meet you. He's into professional wrestling, so yeah.
Yeah.
I know that. I follow him on Twitter.
Well, let me tell you this. My youth scholarship tournament will be a country club, and it will be October 6th and 7th is the dates right now. I forgot to get that in there. But
okay.
I'll get you involved. I'll hit you up with some stuff, and we'll talk soon.
Animals, baseball, bowling, PBA, charity. We did it all. I think we and opening day. We put it all in there. Danny Wiseman is not on Twitter because he's smart. He's not on Instagram because he's smarter, but he is on Facebook, and he is my Facebook friend. We've been knowing each other for almost 40 years, and he caught Adam Jones' home run ball. You can find me out on the buyatoyota.com audio vault 24 hours a day. You can also find our chat with head coach Barry Trotz of the Washington Capitals. We had him out at Michael's Cafe in Timonium on Thursday. Now we'll be talking about Michael's all summer long. Boy, the food was great out there on Thursday after the game. The crowd was great. My pal Jay Pivot was out there from Toyota. We were all watching the game together and watching the Adam Jones walk-off together. And lo and behold, it hit Danny Wiseman in the hands. Only in Baltimore, Smaltimore, can that happen. Last but never least around here, the breaking news happens first on the WNST Tech Service. That's all brought to you by our friends at Coons Ford, Security Boulevard. Dennis will be here this Thursday. He was here on opening day. I'm going to catch back up with him next Thursday, talk about the draft. We're 3 weeks out on the draft right now, so big things happening around here. If you need me, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Snapchat, Instagram, streaming live right here on our Facebook Live, as well as our YouTube WNSTV channel. I am Nestor. We are WNST.net, AM 1570 and WNST Towson, Baltimore, and we never stop talking Baltimore sports.